Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is ChimereNicole. Welcome to the channel. And today I want to share with you some things that I believe you will never regret as a woman in her 30s, maybe even in her 40s, and to be quite honest with you, maybe even your 20s. But these are just some things that I personally do not regret as a woman in my 30s. These are things that I started to implement in my life that have definitely made my life better. So I wanted to share this list with you guys today. So let's jump right into today's video. So one of the things that I definitely don't regret as a woman who is starting to age is I do not regret going to bed early. I'm almost like at the point of giving myself a bedtime, and I know some of my friends are doing that now. There really isn't a point of being up all night long, and I'm speaking from a person who likes to be up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, because I personally feel like I get like that creative itch, and I want to start to write, and I think about videos, and I think about blog posts, and I think about all these things normally like in the middle of the night. But as I'm starting to get older, I realize that I have to train myself to turn my brain off and stop overthinking every single thing. And I realized that if I know that I'm going to bed at a certain time, I kind of start to power down. So right now my bedtime essentially is around 10 to 11 o'clock. So I know that if I want to be in the bed and sleep by at least 10, I have to start to power down at 8. That means turn off my social media, turn off the notifications on my phone, making sure that my kitchen is clean, making sure that there are dishes in my sink. Whatever it is that I need to do that's a part of my nighttime routine, it needs to start at 8 o'clock. And also, ladies, that includes skincare as well. So I definitely do not regret going to bed earlier now that I'm a woman in my 30s. And while we're on the subject, that next thing that I don't regret is waking up early. I talked to you guys about that in a few of my previous videos, but me waking up early has done some monumental things in my life. One, not only do I wake up early and I kind of get myself in the mindset of success, right? I wake up, I make sure that I'm intentional about what I need to do for the day. I start to write down my to-do list, the things that have to be done, my non-negotiables. But that's also the time that I spend with myself before I get my family up. So that's when I'm praying, that's when I'm writing in my gratitude journal, that's when I'm sipping my coffee just in peace and quiet. And me waking up early, I get a lot done now. So I'm able to do all of those things. And even with my fitness routine, I'm able to walk the dog, I'm able to maybe do some laundry that I didn't do the night before. There are a lot of things that I'm able to do that I haven't done before. So waking up early is one of those things that I definitely do not regret, and I highly recommend that you do it as well. So that hour, maybe 2 hours that you can kind of get up early if you go to bed at night. But if you can get that extra hour in, I promise you, you will be able to get so much done, and it's going to make you feel invincible. Tip number 3 essentially goes along with the first 2 tips that I share with you, and that is making sure that your health is a priority. I would definitely say in my 20s, I didn't really put my health as a priority. I was eating whatever I wanted. I was drinking, I was going to bed any old time of the night. I was up all night, whatever, right? So now I put my health as a priority. And when I say health, I don't necessarily mean my physical health. Yes, that is a part of it, but I mean my mental health as well. Now I am very cautious of the things that I read, the things that I watch, the people that I entertain, the conversations that I entertain. Anything that I feel is going to be detrimental to my mental health, I have eliminated, and I've made it a priority to eliminate it. Same as my physical health. I have been almost a stickler now on making sure that my physical health is a top priority. This is the time that your body is going to reward you later on in life for the things that you do today. That means making sure you're eating right, making sure you are exercising, making sure, again, mental health, making sure that you are not under a lot of stress, because you know that your body can release stress hormones, and stress is a killer, especially for women. So I try to minimize stress and anxiety as much as possible. So again, make sure that your health is one of your #1 priorities. Tip number 4 is something that I am low key I'm still kind of dealing with a little bit. I'm trying to master this, but it is creating a budget. Now I don't have a problem creating the budget, I have a problem sticking with the budget. However, but I definitely think that creating a budget and really sticking to it is going to be one of those things that I just do not regret doing. Again, I know for me that I tend to be an overspender, especially when it comes to like accessories, clothes, jewelry, hair, you know, things of that nature. And I have to put myself on a budget because these things are so trendy and they go in and out of style. They're not things that I can keep long term. So there's not a reason for me to have that as a larger portion of my budget versus making sure that my budget, I'm doing more investing, I'm doing more saving. And then when I do spend, I make sure that because I have a budget in place, that I'm not spending on things that I can't keep long term. I now know that I have a certain amount of money that is allocated to, let's say, clothing. And if I have, I don't know, $200 that's allocated to clothing, I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of money on just, you know, frivolous things. I'm going to spend money on the things that I can keep long term. So I definitely think that budgeting is one of those things that I do not regret doing. And as I said earlier, also, the things that you do now are going to affect you in the long run. So budgeting in your 30s is going to set you up for your later years, especially when you think about retirement and traveling and all of those things. Budgeting now is going to help you in the future. Another thing that I don't regret doing as a woman in my 30s is investing in quality foods. I'm going to tell you, earlier on, like I say, in my 20s and I'll even say in my early 30s, I was essentially eating crap. You know, we have a society where we have, you know, 4 for $4 or 5 for $5 biggie bags at, you know, whatever fast food restaurants. And just because it's inexpensive does not mean that it's good for you, does not mean that it is healthy for you. So I have started to really think about the things that I am putting into my body, and I invest in quality foods. It doesn't mean that everything has to be organic, but I will spend the extra $1.50 to know that these foods don't have pesticides on them, to make sure that they're not highly processed. I will buy, you know, if I want to buy crackers, for example, I will buy the crackers that I know don't have all of these products in it. I will turn the box around, I will read the labels, and I will spend the money on things that are minimally processed or not processed at all, just to make sure that they are quality ingredients. Like I said before, and that's going to be the theme of this video, what you do today is going to affect you long term. So investing in quality foods is going to make sure that your body is operating at optimal health. If your body is operating at optimal health, you are going to be around for a very long time. So we're going to shift my list a little bit, and it's going to be talking about friendships. One of the things that I definitely do not regret as a woman in my 30s is closing my circle, closing off my friendship circle and increasing my network. I'm one of those people, and I've kind of been like this for a while, but I don't believe in having a large circle of friends. This is just my own personal opinion. You guys may feel differently. And if you do, make sure you share your thoughts in the comment section below. But I am just a person that I don't believe in having so many people so close to you. And when I call you friend, I truly believe that you are a friend. You are a person that I look to almost as a relative, right? I share personal details with you. I trust you with certain things, and you can't do that with everybody. So I have learned to close off my circle of friends and really start to put people in the different categories, right? So I have friends, I have associates, I have business partners, things of that nature. So I've closed off my circle, but I have definitely increased my network. Yes, I know a lot of people, but all of those people will not be in the category of friend. And I've learned to distinguish that amongst these categories. So I highly recommend that you do that as well. Again, close their circle off. Everybody cannot be trusted, and that's a lesson that a lot of us had to learn the hard way. But this is something that I definitely do not regret as a woman in my 30s, and that is closing off my circle earlier so that I don't have to deal with a lot of the life lessons that come with miscategorizing people in my life. Another thing I've done as I started to become a woman in my 30s is that I started to stop buying certain things and collecting certain things, and I started to focus on creating memories. So that for me essentially looks like, instead of me, like I said earlier, purchasing a lot of makeup or purchasing a lot of shoes, I have started to take that money and invest it in things that are going to create memories for me. So I would definitely say in my 20s, I was a avid, when I say avid, I mean avid makeup collector. I had every new palette, I had every new blush that came out, I had the entire lip gloss collection, and I was spending a lot of money on that. And these are things that I enjoyed, things that I collected, because, you know, some of those, you know, limited edition makeup palettes were really like my thing. And now that I started to get a little bit older, I realized that although those things still do bring me joy, I recognize that me creating memories for myself and for my children, for my family, mean more to me than collecting things. So instead of me spending money on shoes, bags, accessories, like I said earlier, I like to invest in creating memories. That means going to expensive restaurants, traveling, going on that weekend vacation, going on solo vacations. If you guys are not following me on social media, TikTok, Instagram at ChimereNicole, you will see I am currently doing a series called 60 Days of Elevated Experiences, and that is where I am sharing with you some of the things that I'm talking about now. I am creating memories for myself instead of spending that money on frivolous things. So as a woman in my 30s, this is something that I highly recommend and something I definitely do not regret. Those memories are going to last me a lifetime versus that makeup palette or that eyeshadow palette or even that outfit is going to be gone. And again, while I'm on the subject, again, this is another part of my Elevated Experience series that I'm doing over on my TikTok. I am learning to celebrate myself every chance I get. And I promise you, as a woman who is in her 30s and above, this is something that you should start to do and make it a common practice. Celebrate the small victories. It could be something as small as, you know, you got a promotion at work, or it could be something as small as, you know, you finish your to-do list earlier, or you've got everything off of your checklist. These are small things, but these are reasons to celebrate you and all of the hard work. And a lot of times we don't know how to take accolades from other people because we don't celebrate ourselves enough. And I even like to put that into terms of being in relationships. A lot of times we don't know how to tell people to treat us because we don't treat ourselves with the same love and compassion that we're looking for from other people. So a part of celebrating yourself is learning to love on yourself, and it is a really great self-love practice that I have learned to really implement in my 30s. I celebrate as much as I can, as often as I can. And like I said, if you guys are following my TikTok, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But learning to celebrate yourself is going to be critical and something I definitely don't regret, as I've learned to implement this in my 30s. And lastly, one of the things that I definitely don't regret is learning to live in the moment. And this is from a woman who is clearly on social media, and I am recording myself often, even more so than the average person, right? But I have learned that everything doesn't have to be recorded, and also learning to really be in the moment. This was something that I struggled with because clearly I want to share certain aspects of my life with my audience, but I've learned that if I'm going to be creating these memories, yes, I want to share those memories with you, but I also want to be able to live in the moment and not focus on always recording every single thing. If you are like me and you like to record yourself, you create content, maybe like I do as well, sometimes turning the camera off, turning the phone off is going to help you center yourself and live and create those memories from a different perspective. Let your mind do what it's supposed to do. Replay those memories instead of always having to utilize your camera to see it through a different lens. So that's it, guys, for today's video. If you have some things that you want to share as well to add to the list, feel free to leave it in the comment section. I will love to read them as well. And also, I'm sure people here in the community will love to read it as well. If you have not done so already, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Thumbs up this video if it was helpful for you. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.